of form. Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Major League Sorare. I'm your man, TrippinB, a.k.a. Danny Brams, a.k.a. The greatest Charlotte FC collector on the Sorare platform for the Crown Baby always. And I'm here with another edition of Major League Sorare, back-to-back days with back-to-back episodes. If you've been following, if you watched the last episode, then you know that we went in depth about the reasoning and the justifications and rationalizations for why we've had a sporadic summer here in the second half of the MLS season with our episode frequency. We apologized for that in great detail. Hopefully our beloved viewers, the best people in the entire Sorare universe, understood and love us even more for our open, honest transparency. But if you did listen to that, you also know that one of the things I said on there was how much I loved working with DraftKicks, my co-host, my partner in crime, and about how, you know, if he was too busy to do an episode, I could have grabbed a different fill-in co-host many times. But I love doing episodes with him, and that was the reason why I couldn't get in there and do that, and so I just wouldn't do an episode at all because I just, without him, it wasn't the same. And then here I am less than 24 hours later taping a solo episode by myself. So it shows how much you can trust old TrippinB, I guess. But I do love you, Schuyler DraftKicks, and he will be back for all the hijinks we do regularly very soon. The reason we're here today, though, is for a special Resistance is Futile episode. And what does that mean? What does Jean-Luc Picard exactly mean when he does this?
I am the futus of form. Resistance is futile.
Oh, it's scary. I don't know how many of y'all are Star Trek The Next Generation fans, but I'm an old man. I used to watch that show with my parents when I was a kid, and something that always sticks in my mind, the old Borg story arc of Resistance being futile. And it's been on my mind because I'm thinking about results, ways to build lineups, ways to have fun with Sorare, dumb content I can do. And so I had this idea inspired by my Sorare daddy, if you will, Andrew Laird. He's my affiliate referral code. If you go to my page, you can see that I'm under his tree. He has this episode. He does a weekly show, much more on time and taking care of his business, getting episodes out to the people than I am. But Lairdy's one of my boys. He's one of my Sorare OGs always. And so he works for Sorare Data, obviously, if you don't know who he is. And he does the show Off Topic. He has multiple shows, but his Off Topic show recently, I think it was the most recent one, he talked about the algorithm. And there's all this talk about how the Algo, the new Sorare Data tools that are trying to suggest lineups, how to build lineups, what guys to play, how to maximize pick scores and things like that. It's all in service of sort of, like helping people understand a complicated game, a complex game, obviously. And I love what they're doing at Sorare Data. I do think building your own hand-built lineups is part of the fun. I think one of the things that ruins a lot of DraftKings and FanDuel type fantasy play, daily fantasy, is the way that lineups always coalesce on the same ownerships and things like that, and the way that it's all sort of solved, if you will. I like that Sorare's not necessarily solved. Obviously, people have their go-to strategies. I don't think what Sorare's data is doing is necessarily going to lead to the exact same effects as what not ruin, but just makes DraftKings less fun for me, which is everyone playing the same lineups all the time. But I do think that it's an interesting experiment. I love building hand lineups, but what Laird outlined sort of in his episode was a way to sort of go through and it's a little bit labor intensive, but we're going to go through it all tonight here. The best way to sort of get your maximum what the algorithm would build for all of your whole gallery, if you will, not just one lineup. So basically it boils down to, we're going to look at a bunch of different lineups before we set each one and sort of winning our way down through the divisions based on this new picks lineup strength score that Sorare just recently launched. So remember always,
I am the futus of form. Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile. We can't get away from the algos. The algos are running every aspect of our lives. Why shouldn't it run our Sorare galleries, right? We'll see. But basically, I've been sucking lately. My hand picks lineups that are so fun to make that I keep talking about are trash recently. So clearly I'm doing something wrong. So let's see if the algo can do any better than I would have done myself, right? So we're going to go through this very, very shortly. And I might as well bring it on up, ride that train all night long. I don't know. My gallery has a lot of guys in play this week. I don't have a ton of limiteds, but I have a few limiteds to build, and we're gonna see what's up. So maybe I should make this a little bit bigger so people can see it. I don't know. First ever solo stream here. Shout out to Laird. I mentioned off topic with Laird, his show that he does, and talking to hear about yourself. I love to hear myself talk, but here I am 5 minutes in, and I'm like, man, I'm already probably boring people to death. But what can you do? So basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to, instead of saying I choose, like one way that everyone can do this. And first, a few caveats here. We're going to let I've talked to a few other people about this. I don't know if anyone else is recording themselves doing that for this game week, but I know I am recording it. But I know other people that are doing this based on what Laird outlined. If you didn't watch the episode, it simply is. The process is, instead of, some people have already been doing this already, which is going through and choosing which divisions they want to prioritize, and then using the suggest a lineup button that Sorare Data offers to do it, and and then playing those lineups. I'm not the first to do that by any stretch. I'm not even the first to do what I'm doing, but at least I'm here talking with you about it right now. What I'm doing is I'm going to look at, instead of picking the priority order for the divisions, I'm going to also let the algorithm sort of pick the division priority also by looking at everything together and seeing which has the highest lineup suggestion. So All-Star Rare 77, leader in the clubhouse. So I'm not even going to necessarily even look who's in here right now. I'm just going to go through my divisions and see what the highest little number here that Sorare Data can give me can get up to. We might as well. So 77 for All-Star Rare. Remember that number. I'm not going to necessarily write anything down. We're just going to try to remember the highest. Another 77 for All-Star Rare Pro. Already we've run into a huge, massive problem because the algo's telling me 77 on both, and I have to put choice in that I didn't want to choose. So I just went from the 2 All-Star Rares to Cap 240. Well, there we go. We don't have the 77 to worry about because right now our Cap 240s are the 79. I skipped over Cap 220. I'm not, if the algo tells me to do 220 first, that's what I'm going to do. Because guess what, y'all? Resistance is very, very.
The futures of all. Resistance is futile.
How many more times am I going to play that clip on this recording? Who knows? Cap 220 though, thankfully, in my heart of hearts, I'm glad. I can cheer for the algo. I'm never going to go against the algo, but I can be happy with like what the algo is telling me. I guess is that affecting the results? Who knows? We can get philosophical with it. So, 81 in Cap 270. So there we go. So right now we're rocking a Cap 270 is our primary thingamajig. I'll check both Challenger Europes. I could do Challenger Europe Rare. I have one Challenger Europe goalie, this loser, Jonas Lossel from Midtjylland. Thankfully, 73. So we're still rocking Cap 270 as our number 1 lineup here. Challenger Europe Rare Pro maybe is stronger. I doubt it. But I do have an awesome Challenger Rare Pro defender who is Jordi van Lerberg. Jordy's the GOAT, and I could do a whole solo stream probably just talking about how much I love Jordi van Lerberg. So, Jord, if you're out there, maybe you join where you do a combo episode. It's not MLS, although I would die to see you in MLS someday. Anyway, one of my favorite players in the globe, thanks to the world of Sorare. Who would have thought? Ooh, 89. That's real nice in Champ America. The Tigres guys clearly are in a very good spot. Again, I haven't analyzed this too much. 89, 81. So yeah, 89 Champ America Rare right now is looking like top priority lineup. Who would have guessed with my gallery, right? 89 for Champ America Rare Pro as well. Probably because I rock Savarino and Reynoso both in Rare and Rare Pro. So obviously there's going to be no difference there. I can't do Asia. I don't have an Asian goalkeeper. I don't have a Champ Euro goalkeeper. I'm sure you guys are glad. Finally, I'm not going to go through every single division. I do have one under 23 Rare goalkeeper. His name is Baek Jong Bum, and he's a bum, and he sucks, but he was good when I bought him, at least. But I think he's with the Korean national team in like an extended camp, some kind of nonsense. I haven't followed it too close. I just know he's not really available for this match, and so I'm worried. This is a guy I'm worried is probably going to be dropped when he comes back to his team from the national camp. So there you have it. George Marks, my Charlotte goat. Not going to be a starter. I don't think any matches this year without an injury to the number one Christian Kalina. But if I'll be really sad if Christian Kalina gets hurt, I will lose a super rare goalie and a unique goalie. But hey, at least I'll get an under 23 rare goalie. I don't know if that counts as worth, as they would say in the video gaming world. But let's see if I can get any high super rare scores. No, clearly all-star super rare, that has no chance with 72. I doubt the 220 is going to be any better. So far, we're still rocking Champ America Rare Pros at 89. My 220 is 63. That's horrible. We probably aren't going to end up with a cap 220 in super rare. This is kind of interesting. This is a real interesting part of this exercise because the way I build, when I hand build, I've obviously invested the most money, right, in my super rare part of my gallery. They're the most expensive cards. And they also are the best prizes. So in theory, I should be like, well, when I build by hand, I'm like, well, I'm going to check out what I can fuck around and get into in the super rare division, right? First. And so how can I maximize, the usage of my super rare cards, not necessarily for strength, like with this, at least with the algorithmically measuring the strength, right? But to what I want to win, best prizes are in super rare, like what can I go for, et cetera, in terms of like, I want to 83 for Champ America Super Rare. Not quite 89, unfortunately, but like what can I do to like make the most of my cards? I guess I'm losing my train of thought. That's going to happen more than once, but hopefully not too annoyingly. Yeah, I can't do unique or whatever. So it's going to be real interesting if I do have a super rare lineup, if it puts one of my my Swiderski or Kalina uniques in, because those two are in play for sure. And I would definitely, if I was building by hand, I would definitely run them. But yeah, to finish that point, if I was building by hand, every single super rare card would first go towards either maybe a rare pro, but also a super rare lineup, just because I would like, even if I'm not real. Remember, I don't know if you follow a lot of content, you might remember the famous So Rare. I can't remember if it was So Rare Andrews or So Rare Strategy. Forgive me, Sean and Andy, for confusing the two of y'all, I guess. But it was competing versus competing. Are you competing or are you competing? Like, I don't know if I'm competing or competing in the So Rare super rare division with my cards. You can go to my gallery page and tell me. Most people would tell me I'm not, for sure. But this 83 line, this is actually a sick lineup that I would. So if I was building by hand, I would probably build a lineup like this in a Champ America Super Rare. I'd probably then I'd be like, maybe I should put this in All Star, or maybe I should have the Kalina unique goalkeeper or my Swiderski unique forward, and then I can move Sava super rare down to rare pro. So like those are like my decision-making processes. But again, my decision-making processes have been bullshit. So we're going to just we are giving it up to the Algo. And if you remember the theme.
I am the future sub-4. Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile, y'all. Resistance also futile to me. Side note, tangentially, to coffee. I love coffee so much. I got to drink it every fucking night. Late at night, I'm drinking coffee because I like to stay up late and watch TV, surf the internet. Anyway, so it looks like Champ America Super Rare is going to be where we plant our flag. America Rare. Let's actually look at the lineup a little bit closer here now that they gave us an 89er with Captain Jesus. Reynoso in the mix. See, I would always captain Reynoso here, but the Algo probably tells me to captain Jesus. That's cool. It gives me a defender goalkeeper stack. We love that with a forward. Gignac, I haven't. So the other thing about this, I was obviously at this stage when I'm building like the night before a deadline, that's when I really like, I'll obviously be tracking news, following news throughout the week. But I'm very into like, who's going to start? Who's going to do this? Is this person available? Is this person really going to start, etc.? So like with this, one thing that I feel the least bit comfortable with in this whole exercise is I'm also just slaving the Algo in terms of like, I'm not following up on further news. I'm just gonna, unless I totally know right off the top of my head already that someone's out and it's not showing. It's tough for me to put them in, but that's all to say. I'm not 100% sure if Gignac is starting or not for Tigres. I think he probably is. He has been a little bit banged up, but he's also scoring goals again. So hey, come buy my Gignac. Gignac is for sale. I don't think he's listed. You got to list or play in this world. Obviously, everybody knows that, but I will make my Gignac available if you want him. I have listed him in the past, but let's go with the Rare Pro because then I get my Sava Super Rare in that I like. I think it's fair to say if the score is tied, if the 89 is the same, then I can lean towards a Rare Pro. So we will save that. I won't put all the lineups in on this recording because I think that's probably going to be extremely boring to a lot of y'all. So I'll just go and do that later at the end of the thing. I should have done like a second. Maybe I'll do a second draft and show like how I would have drafted it by hand to sort of I don't know compare and contrast. But that sounds like a lot of work, and that sounds like I'm already doing a lot of work, and I don't want to do it anymore. So that's not going to happen. But so now we got a 76 on All-Star Rare. So now this is what, because this is already work, right? Like I got to go through all these freaking divisions again with the guys that are in America Rare Pro taken out and see what happens. 76 on All-Star Rare Pro. I think that's the same, right? So we're rocking with the 76. I doubt 220 is going to be higher. I probably could skip some of these just based on intuition at this point, but there we go. So actually 220 was higher. So what do I freaking know? I wouldn't mind playing Gignac just for my own, if I'm, outside observing myself. If I'm not 100% sure Gignac's going to play, I don't mind sticking him in a 220. That wouldn't be bad. But let's see if 78. Can we get higher? 79. Tap 240, and it doesn't even have Gignac in it. So there you go. The extra 20 salary cap points made our lineup that little bit stronger. 270 was the strongest before the Americas last time. 270 has 79, 240 has 79. If I was live streaming this, I would put it up to the comments to just let people choose probably, but I'm not, so I can't and I won't. I'm going to probably lean towards 240 since you lean towards threshold, kind of like you would lean towards Rare Pro over Rare. But the Challenger Europe Rare does nothing for us in terms of a higher score. Challenger Europe Pro hopefully looks a little better because they would have put Jordy in as we went through before. Can America Rare beat Cap 240 79? It can 84. So we're going to America. We're coming to America. How about some Neil Diamond for the people? We'll stay in America. I don't have Asia, don't have Champ, blah, blah, blah. 84 is going to be tough. Can Champ America Super Rare get higher than 84? 76, nah. It did put Swiderski in, though, because the Savarino was gone, I guess. Just for grins, just to reinforce that I can skip these next time. Yeah, I'll look at it, but yeah, 66 isn't going to do it. So I would never put Champion America as my first two divisions that I build. I would never prioritize Champion America as much as I'm on a show called Major League Sorare that's like devoted to prioritizing MLS and the America division. In my builds, I'm always trying to prioritize All-Star because that has the best prizes, and that's where you just want. If you guys, I always say, like, if your guys go off, if you hit the lotto, if you're just everything clicks in your lineup, you hit 500 points. You're gonna want that in All-Star, not in a regional division. But the problem is, this is not a normal build.
I am the future sub-4. Resistance is futile.
It's true. Resistance is futile, guys. I got to play Champion America Rare, Pro, and Rare as my first and second builds. Crazy. Some of my favorite cards that I would love to play in All-Star in terms of Reynoso and Sava, I'm putting them in America. If they go off and I go big, even there's good cards in America. You could win a Messi. Messi would be great. I said in a previous episode of this fine show that one of my major goals is to sell off a bunch of stuff and earn enough to buy a Messi Rare for next season. So who wouldn't want to win him? I don't know if he's going to be up for grabs. But anyway, we're in America, and we'll keep going from now. That leads to another one of my side rants, which is that this is nothing new, but people should know that the the podium prizes, like who's available for your top 3 finishes in all divisions, should be announced like beforehand. I strongly feel actually about in the prize pools. Like I'm cool with everything else being random, and I like the experience of like not knowing exactly what you're gonna get, and like the opening and all that. The opening animation is cool, and you know, I think that's fun, and the ability to you know, have a little bit of randomness built in, and you need a little bit more luck. You know, you got to be lucky as hell in your lineup to place high, and then you got to get even luck, one last bit of luck to get a good reward. All that's kind of part of the game. I wouldn't take that away. Which one was higher, 220 or 240? But for podium, I think they should be announced in advance because looks like 240 was higher. It'd just be nice to know what you're playing for, you know, and that would help people make decisions, I think, a little bit easier on like where to put cars and things like that. But so far, Cap 240 is looking like our next one. I would like that to be the case. I would actually like, to be honest, I would actually kind of like All-Star Rare Pro to be the next one, but it looks like still Cap 240, I think with 79, was it? Can Jordy Vanderberg get us? Nope, can't do it. Obviously, Challenger Rare is not going to be higher than Rare Pro without Jordy there. There he is. What was it? 79. Can Cap 240 super rare maybe? No. I have a feeling my super rare divisions are going to be El Asico this week for sure. Because they're just the better cards are going to get put into different divisions and things like that with these Algo build. You know, Resistance is Futile. That dumb idea I came up with. Remember that? I didn't really come up with it. Andrew Laird did. I came up with running that clip over and over. But yeah, we'll go with Cap 240 rare. So here we go. Look, I love Pacheco. I'm glad Pacheco's in. He's my boy. He's at home. He should be fine. Shout out to Luis Pacheco. You know, Pacheco, my favorite goalkeeper. This Pacheco is my second favorite Pacheco goalkeeper. Dewsbury Hall in cat mode. This guy's one of my favorite. A AAA play in cat mode. Who would have thought? But whatever. The Algo says do, and I do. Thomas Lamb. He's helping me squeeze guys like Cho and Dewsbury in with his 32 here on cap. I see. This guy kind of sucks. I bought him. He's also kind of emblematic of one of my big so rare disgraces, which was kind of hard to tell, but there was this time when right before they launched like second division cards on So Rare, there was all this second division like media, like stuff that was like uploaded to the site's API, like the headshots and stuff like that, and the logos of the teams. So then I got word, someone said, and the problem was I never verified if this was true. So this part of the story might not be true, but I was led to believe, whether it was true or not, that the same thing had happened for the Aussie A-League, the men's A-League, as they call it out there. And so I was like, oh, they're going to be at an Australian league too. And I didn't cash in or anything on the whole second division thing. So I was like, well, this is my chance to sort of, you know, ride a little bit of, you know, educated guessing. Was it insider knowledge or educated guessing? Who knows? But anyway, so I bought I had ETH to burn on the site. This was before the big crash also. And so I bought a decent amount. I bought like 2 goalies and, you know, 4 or 5 defender cards and whatever, enough to have like 2 lineups in the Australian A-League pretty much. And they were all cheap relatively, but they all didn't pan out because they never added Australian A-League. Thomas Lamb was part of that. He's actually back at PFC's as well. So there we go. He left Aussie League and went back to Eredivisie. He's finally starting. I have a feeling this says 100%. To be honest, I wouldn't put 100% on Thomas Lamb starting here, but whatever. We're slaves to the Algo this week. So we're going to put this together. Another thing is like Cho and Dewsbury Hall are part of stacks. Like he stacks with my Wout Face. Vutfas, I think is how you'd call him. And Cho Gusung, he goes with my whole Michelin stack. So he would always be in like a Challenger Europe for me almost every time. But you know what we're doing here. Do I have to play? Don't make me play the clip again. So so now we've got 3 lineups built. Let's see where we're at. Can we get I have a feeling the strength scores are going to start going down just in general. 71 All-Star Rare. I think All-Star Rare Pro, based on what we've seen so far, is going to be next. But the Algo may surprise us. 75 is a little better. Van LeBurger in the utility. So I could scroll down, I guess, and see what they got for us there, but in the defender, but I won't. So 75. I'll move getting a limited in. That sucks. I was kind of hoping that it would not have a limited in my cap 220 lineup, but looks like it does for now. Let's see what's 270. I think we're trying to be 75, right? So there we go. 270. Oh, Driussi and Alvarez in the same lineup. That's kind of sexy, but who knows? 77 7. Okay, nice. Oh, look at that beautiful Mechlin stack. This would be this is the lineup I would probably build right here, by the way, in Challenger Pro, but it's not going to happen. I would, of course, probably had to put Big Bob Scoofs in there, but I doubt All-Star, I doubt Super Rare Divisions are going to do any better than it just showed us there for 270, but we'll check just to be safe. I don't know. So this is easy. You can see it's nothing. Oh, wow. Champion America Super has a 76. Oh, wow. I did not believe what I saw. Maybe should have. That might have been the same last time. I might have gone out of order here by accidentally kind of like rushing over, but no, cap 270 with a 77. So we'll build this. The interesting thing will be, I think Champ America Super would still be the next highest because it's at a 76, right? Because 77, it's all the same cards. None of those would have been in that 270. I don't know. Maybe I'm being sloppy here, because I'm not mechanically going through like a Borg, like a true Locutus of Borg would do here, but I think I just want to have a good super rare lineup, to be honest, at least one. So maybe I'm skipping steps on purpose. But let's see what All-Star Rare Pro has. 68. Okay. Doesn't like a lot of the super rares. Let's see what Europe Rare Pro has. 67. We skipped a couple rounds of Challenger Europe. Let's just it's all, so I always feel like the Challenger Europe rares can be lower than the Rare Pro for me because of the way it works. But once we get a couple of those other super rares out, that will actually change. So let's check the cap 40. Doesn't like the cap 40 super rare at all. Let's check the All-Star. Doesn't like the All-Star. These America cards can't really compete in All-Star when there's full European actione, but we can dream. Like Elvis once sang, "If I can dream," there must be light somewhere, I think was the lyric of there. 76. I mean, I love this team. I gotta say, I look at this team, my team's on the floor, as Norman Dale once said. This is a beautiful team. Pereira will probably be benched just to screw me here. Or possible Swiderski's benching. It's too late for anybody probably watching this, but small chance that my boy Carroll's benched. Obviously, I should be considered a Charlotte FC expert, right? But coming back from an international break, he's been splitting time at the striker with our other DP. So it's like we have one DP on the bench, and the coach sort of thinks that only one of them can be striker. So I got a little slight concern on Swiderski this weekend. You see he's 75% on Sorare data. I don't know what Play Sharper has. If I was projecting the lineup, I would put him in, but I couldn't put him in as like a 99% lock. But we will play this in Champ America Super Rare. I'm glad to at least have I'm glad to have my Swiderski in a meaningful lineup. I'm glad the Algo didn't take that away from me. I think that's important. That makes me want to assimilate with the Borg, as it were. To keep the analogy going. Yeah. Let's go back to All-Star Rare, 63. Okay. Not liking that. I don't know why it hates my All-Star Rare, probably because my cards are bad. 66. It likes Rare Pro a little bit with the 66. 220 may end up taking the day on this round. I don't know if there's any betting favorites. 73 on cap 220. We might actually even get another super rare lineup out of this. Let's check. All right, 73 still the highest on All-Star Rare Pro, I think it was, right? The good news about this thing, here's where we get to where this is kind of a little bit of a fun, if you could call it fun, part of the process, is that every round you go through this, every time you like check your scores on all of them, there's one fewer to check, right? You've built a lineup. So that's just one less thing you have to worry about. So it's like each round gets one shorter by extension. Oh, I don't have Dahmer's in anymore yet, by the way. And that makes it nice because, you know, it's like a countdown. It's like you get closer to your goal. I'm getting closer to my goal. Wow, my Cap 240 Super. So it sucks. Like, really, I really try to give my best foot forward in a hand build of Cap 240, obviously, because super rare, because that prize is really the 250. So definitely sucks to have what they consider a shitty lineup in there. It's going to be a really low prioritized. So 67 270 super rare though might actually be the stuff. Was it All-Star Rare Pro that was the next highest? 66, yeah, I think it was. Or was it 220? Get your kicks on Route 66. 73 220. All right. So sadly, it looks like 73, but then Cap 270 super rare, which is a division I never actually play in real life, will be probably the next one. So we'll save that. Let's go backwards this time. How about that? That'll just change it up a little bit. That makes it interesting. So 67. What is the Cap 220? 60. That's no good. I don't know. If you're still watching this, leave a comment. Tell me if you think this is good content or shit content. I'm certainly not the first person to ever do lineup builds on a YouTube stream or whatever. I wouldn't mind doing this live, but just the way we have the show set up, I would have done this live 100% actually, and I would have invited people to come join. But the way that we do the show, it's always got to be recorded. That may change in the future, and we'll be more equipped to like do live streams and stuff like that. I think that's a direction we can grow the show in. Remember when I said I wasn't going to write anything down? I should have been writing some stuff down or something, because now I'm like forgetting, going backwards, like screwed me on all the divisions. But I think it was All-Star Super Rare here, 63. What was Cap 270 Super Rare? 67. Did anybody beat a 67? I forget. 66 All-Star Rare Pro. So this is kind of an inflection point, because I would normally prioritize All-Star Rare Pro much higher than Cap 270 Super Rare. And yet I'm a slave to the algo. I don't know. Christian Ortiz, TT Ortiz, 97% to start seems very ambitious to me. But hey, I'm not here to fight Locutus of Borg. What, are you kidding me? I'm here to just play along. Another funny thing about this is leaves 16 points on the table, so that can't be good. If I was building this lineup, I would 100% put Kareem Marabti, the Mechlin forward, in instead of Christian Ortiz. I think he's way better, but for whatever reason, Christian Ortiz has a higher pick score. I'm going to guess it's because of cost efficiency, really. Even though, so here's where it's kind of funny: is like cost efficiency in general makes TT Ortiz a better pick than Kareem Marabti as far as pick score, a B to a C, right? But I'm in a lineup where I have 16 extra. So the 3-point difference it doesn't, or I could even put Swiderski in, right? My Swiderski is still sitting here in the pool, available to be drafted. He's an E. Again, I'm going to guess it's because of very low cost efficiency. Yep, exactly. And so I could fit one of these guys easily. I have 16 to play with. But the algo has told me to put Christian Ortiz in because he's a better pick score. So I question a lot. That to me says that's like my human intuition is like, it can't be, right? It just can't. That this is wrong. This is a flaw in the system. This is a flaw in the Sorare data lineup builder. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong there. Larry, you can answer that, but I'm a slave to the algo. So one thing I forgot to say off the top, and if you've stuck around long enough, I'm glad you did. But Sorare data is doing these things. Let's see if I can. Maybe I go to the homepage. It's still up. I don't know for sure now that they have the homepage now does the announcing a new chapter thing. But they did this promo of like, can John Nellis beat the algorithm? Can Chani beat the algorithm? These legends, these Sorare content superstar legends. And I was like, Laird's my boy, but I'm just little TrippinB over here. I'm nobody. I'm like 29 billionth on the list of the people that would get invited to take on this algorithm, this mighty thing. So I said, why can't beat him? Join him, right? So maybe I can make my mark by going through and recording what I think are bad lineups, to be honest. At this point, when I see this thing putting TT Ortiz in over two much better forwards who I think are more likely to start, even with the Swiderski issues I went over before, and it tells me to put him in cap 270 super rare, I got a problem with that. And yet I can't fight it. I don't need to play the clip again. I've played the clip way too many times, but that's where we're at. So let's hope. Can we get some all-star? It's like these are my first two divisions that I almost always build is all-star rare and all-star rare pro. So kind of funny that they're still not built yet. The Algo still is kind of loving T2 Ortiz for an all-star rare. It's gonna be sad when like all my lineups do decent except for like the ones that T2 Ortiz sank and I didn't want to put him in, but this stupid algorithm told me to. It'll kind of remind me of being a supporter of the first year of Charlotte FC when I didn't want T2 Ortiz on the field, and he was on there, and he was sinking my team's chances. So all-star rare pro as a 63. I need to do a better job of counting the leader in the clubhouse in my head so I can move through this faster. We got a tie between all-star rare pro and Challenger Europe rare pro and Challenger Europe rare. So that's not looking great. Can I get an all-star super rare lineup? Ooh, 55. Yikes. But it would have been good to have some of these guys. These guys are bad pick scores, I guess. Another thing about this exercise, Laird mentioned this in his stream, but looks like Champ Europe Super Rare is the winner here. Or Challenger Europe Super Rare, excuse me, I don't have Champ. If you did this exercise on the first day of Game Week opened, then it would obviously be much different. The pick scores adjust as odds start coming in, betting odds start coming in, lineup predictions start coming in. So the pick scores will always be changing throughout the week. So I'm doing this 11 hours before lock. You can take that or leave it. Maybe I could sneak in and adjust a few right before lock. Maybe I can trick the algo into giving me Swiderski or Marabti in that super rare lineup instead of Ortiz, but probably not. So why would I try to trick the algo? I'm freaking Locutus of Borg over here. So 57, our all-star rare lineup strength score just keeps going down, down, down the deeper we get into this. But 60 for rare pro, 60 being the leader in the clubhouse. I don't think we can get a lineup. Yeah, no goalkeeper here. So Challenger Europe rare. I only have the Jonas Lossel, and now he's out. So that division is not going to happen. All-star super rare couldn't quite get higher than the 60. That's too brutal. I would love a cap 240 super rare lineup, even if it sucks. Nope, not going to give it to me. Wow. Being a slave to the algo is kind of rough. It's like you live by the algo, die by the algo. 57 is close, but I think it was there. We had a couple 60s. I don't know. Are you sick of listening to my voice yet? Probably. You've probably turned this off. I guess I could go silent for a little bit and just let the visuals tell the story, but where's the fun in that, really? Checking things multiple times, probably you're sick of me looking at that. I don't know if Christopher Olsen's going to start. And Janine, these two are actually both predicted in a lineup I saw, in the one lineup that I did see, as to not start. But I don't have it 100% off the top of my head, so I'm just going to have to trust the algo on that one. And I finally got I think that's my last TT Ortiz that I'm going to have to deal with, at least on the rare side. Only a few left to go here. 56. That ain't good, but maybe. Wow. Cap 240 rare is down to, it doesn't have a goalkeeper. So I don't have any more super rare goalkeepers. So the super lineups are dead. So basically, at this point, I have two lineups left, I think, right? All-star rare, Challenger Europe rare. I could try a cap 220 super rare with a rare goalkeeper, maybe. 50. I don't think that Amelia's an F going to Minnesota against Reynoso. It sucks because these are like cards I should be using. I feel there's an Andres Reyes A card that's like not getting used in this dumb exercise. So now I'm like getting angry. Now like you move through the stages, right? I'm in the anger stage. I don't know. I never have known the order of the stages, but I'm in the anger stage, and I'm pretty pissed at this algorithm right now. I don't like the lineups that's given to me. I don't like the lineups that's taken away from me. I don't like the cards that are not in use here right now, but there ain't a whole lot I can do about it. We really only have 2 rare lineups left. I don't know. How long have I been going here? Checking the clock, I'm 40 minutes in, so I'm not going to subject y'all to the limiteds. I promise I'll finish this exercise and do exactly what I've been doing with, the 3 or 4 limited lineups that I have. They're mostly Charlotte FC based and Legends based. And you can check my lineups if you really care on my page. They will be there. Looks like finally. So let's wrap it up by saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All-Star Rare is now my 10th priority lineup based on the algorithm. So does that say more about the algorithm or does that say more about my shitty gallery? Who knows? Probably the latter. I would never never assume the former because I love my good friends at Sober Date and everything they've come up with. So I think that should do it. Let's look real quick at my saved lineups and just sort of like take it all in, if we will. What do you say? I will take myself out of the screen so you can see it in all its glory. I don't know. I like these Champion America lineups. I love it. These are some of my best cards. They should do well in a division that I rarely prioritize. These are usually like 5th and 6th priority lineups for me, or set. And I try to do the All-Stars and the Caps first. We'll see how it goes. Now, we go one tier down, and I'm already starting to have questions about these lineups. Like, wasting. Not wasting, but I have. I don't have a ton. Forward's my shortest position. So putting a 2 forward lineup always needs to be a thought out decision for me in my gallery, in my opinion. And so to do it here in Cap 270 rare, I don't know, whatever. I guess what I've learned is that the Algo seems to enjoy Cap 270s more. Maybe I've been sleeping on Cap 270. Maybe that's something I will learn through this exercise. I'm super glad that my boy Hannes Vanderbruggen got in. I'll bring myself back on the screen just so I can do this. Hannes, you're the man. The novelty card, the meme card that became a real card for a long time. Hannes has struggled to get super consistent playing time, but he does play, and he gets a decent score every now and again. He's a great one to slip into 220. Enzo Copetti, if you're a fan of the definite decisives that I do with DraftKicks, he's my guaranteed goal this week. So there you go. I do think he will start. And even if he doesn't start, I think he'll score off the bench. This lineup, this Cap 270 super rare, I mean, it's crazy. You'll notice I never did end up with my Swiderski super rare in a lineup. And that is just, to me, seems a little silly to not have the Swiderski super rare here in this All-Star Rare Pro and then like put a different, take the Nkosi Burgess out, Nkosi Tafari out and put some other rare card in. That's what I would do. But my friends,
I am the Futus of Form. Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile, y'all. So that's how that works. If you want to do it yourself, you can do it. I spend about 40 minutes here. You could probably go a lot quicker than me because I'm slow and I'm tired and I talked a lot. But like I said, I'll go through the limiteds and we'll follow up. We'll see how this whole exercise worked out. I've turned my entire, So Rare gallery into a bit here. I don't know if that's good or bad, but at least I had fun. I hope you had fun watching. I appreciate everyone who watches. Leave a comment, share with your friends. Tell me how great I am if you legitimately think so, because I love good vibes. If you legitimately think I suck, just keep it yourself. Is that so hard, right? And no one needs to hear that. All right. Thank you all very much.